volunteers at various locations in the tri-state area, including the Meals on Wheels program, assisting with daily deliveries and dining room service. And whereas the planting of flowers and vegetables in the Port Jervis Community Garden and donating the vegetable items to local seniors, as well as preparing and cutting the flowers that they deliver to local agencies and senior homes. And whereas they make and provide all the centerpieces and holiday gifts for the Farnham House and homebound seniors. And whereas the recipients and staff of the Port Jervis Senior Dining Program are grateful for all the invaluable service hours and dedication that is given by the members of the Community Builders Program. Therefore, I, Mayor Kelly B. Decker, on behalf of the Port Jervis City Council and Nutrition Program, hereby proclaim this Friday, December 12, 2014, Orange County AHRC Community Builders Day in the city of Port Jervis, as your agency provides the true meaning of community.
So if you could. Yes, absolutely. They do all that with excitement, enthusiasm, with a smile on their face, no matter what the conditions. So yeah, I'll be glad to do that.
Thank you, sir. We now reopen to public comment, 3-minute limit. Please state your name and where you live. If it's out of the city, if it's not a street address, out of the city, just what town you live in.
Hi, good evening, Lorraine Marquez, 3rd Ward. Okay, the 3rd Ward Neighborhood Watch will not be meeting this December. And on January 15th will be the first citywide Neighborhood Watch meeting of the year, held at Drew United Methodist Church at 7 o'clock. And the subject matter will be crime and drugs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
First, I'd like to thank Chief Warden. About 2.5 weeks ago, I had a meeting at the Center of Business Owners to talk to the councilman. Okay, Robert, I can't pronounce your last name. I'm Sikowski, so. We had a meeting, Chief Warden come, and I thought it was very good. And thanks for coming. And Mayor Decker, you had mentioned about our meeting on Saturday, and I'd like to thank you as well on behalf of everyone that was there. Explained a lot and actually helped us a lot of fears that were building up.
Anytime.
Okay, there's one other thing. When I spoke last meeting, I had mentioned that my agoraphobia and my post-traumatic stress. Been getting some questions online and in person about it, and I just want to bring it forward now. First, with my agoraphobia. I've been dealing with that for decades, and for those of you who don't know what agoraphobia is, it's panic attacks when you leave home, and it can become very debilitating. And like I explained at the last meeting, I'm on medication now. That's why I'm here, and I'm doing a lot better. But basically, even a trip to Walmart, for me, unmedicated, it would be like you going on Black Friday, would be the best way to explain it, is that panicky and everything. As for my post-traumatic stress, I have a rough time, I know. I came out with it with you, Mayor Decker, on Saturday, and a few others in this room know, but I figure it's time I share it with the entire community. On the morning of September 11th, I was just a guy going to work in Manhattan. I got up out of the train station. My office was on John Street, about 2.5 blocks from the Trade Center. Hey, I was dealing with my agoraphobia, no medication, everything. I was doing good. Making it through. It was a job where I was flexible. I did most of my work at home. It was right. An important meeting that morning, and I wasn't paying attention to anything. I got up out of the subway and I walked, and about halfway to the office, I noticed that everyone was stopped dead, which is something you don't see in Manhattan very often. And they were all staring behind me when I had turned around. I saw that one of the towers was on fire. I'd ask someone what happens to the plane head. Anybody who would be in that area knows that there were a lot of small Lear-type jets that looked as if they were going to hit into the tower. And my first thought was, this is what happened. It's my understanding also that some of the first reports were that it was a small jet as well. And then for a split second, I saw the second plane between the towers. And it exploded. And things were very fuzzy after that. And, you know, Ken got it last week, and he had asked me immediately if I was a fireman or a policeman. And I just want you to know, and everybody here to know, that there were a lot of other people that were affected that day, other than the people that were working there. You know, the firemen and the policemen, not to demean them in any way. But let's not forget about the other people who were there and just literally, they were on their way to work and they literally walked in the middle of a war zone. And I just figured it was time that I shared it with everyone in this community. Why 13 years ago when all this had happened, I decided to move up here and make it my home. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Laura Meyer, Port Jervis Tourism. I know we just came off the Chris Kendall Mart, and it was a tremendous success. Again, I said to my husband, do you think we're getting too big too fast? I was a little worried. But I just want to thank a few other people that I want to make sure they're not neglected for helping with the event to make it such a great success. I want to give a special thank you to Babos and Plosky for being our only sponsor for the Chris Kendall Mart. I hope next year we can have more sponsors. I would like to bring a horse and carriage ride into the city if that's possible. So if somebody would like to plant that in the back of their head and help us do that, it'd be great. I want to thank the City of Port Jervis, the Mayor and Council, Port Jervis Police Department, DPW, the City Clerk's Office, because we made many visits there, Port Jervis Fire Department volunteers, the hose company number 2 for their fire truck use for the tree lighting, the 2 young men who volunteered as security guards for us at the tree lighting and at the Chris Kendall Mart. Also would like to thank the Salvation Army, Bon Secours, and the Broom Street Band for the tree lighting. And we had a lot of wonderful businesses and vendors that participated at the Chris Kendall Mart. And I don't want to forget Pat Timono and Sharon Siegel from the Gazette for giving us a lot of publicity and getting us on the front page of the Gazette prior to the event and after the event, which we had a lot of pages there on this past Friday, so I was really happy about that. And I would like to also thank Charlene Trotter from the Chamber for getting us on Chamber Matters before the event, so we could promote what tourism does here in Port Jervis and all our events, not just Chris Kendall Mart. And I'd like to thank all the members of the tourism board who did help with the Chris Kendall Mart. My husband was a big help, Mike, and Bill Show was a big help for me also too. So they were like my people on either side helping me through, especially Saturday when the tent was going up and I had really high blood pressure. So I just want to thank everybody for that. Thank you.
Laura, I think if the mayor can have reindeer downtown, you can have a horse.
That's right.
Seems
Help,
fair.
anyone else?
Hello, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mayor and Councilman, how you doing? My name is Terry Lee McMurray Jr., and today's my first attendance in the City Hall meeting here, and like I said, I'm welcoming myself into the community, and I'd like to present myself with, a little bit of knowledge to the community and to the mayor. A couple weeks ago, I spoke to the mayor about our city having a grant that was from the federal government for the City of Port Jervis for an rural development program. And I had asked him if he had heard anything about it, and he said he did not. The grant was for supposedly $800 million or $800 billion, which it had came from an artwork piece that I had done for Marine Corps. Now this piece is a part of the work that I've been doing for a good, I'm going to say, 6 years now, and I'm making a book, and the work is that I draw are Gothic works. And the works that I've drawn are for children's book that I'm creating. One book has already been published. It was published in China. 800 million copies sold within 6 months, from December of 2012 to June of 2013. I'm still having problems with obtaining my book from China, which, like I said, supposedly copies have been sent here to Port Jervis, New York, to the post office, and I have not received them. Royalty rights and checks have been sent to Port Jervis Post Office. I have not received them. I had opened up bank accounts here at Port Jervis, and my banks have been seized and frozen. And I would just like to ask the mayor if he had heard anything anymore pertaining to the rural development program
Nothing, sir.
for the 800 million
Nothing.
or 800 billion. Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, and I just want to address the community because, like I said, I mean, it's something that I think that it needs to be addressed and found out where the money is, if any money was put into this account for our city, because I'm from Port Jervis. I've been here my whole life since I was 6 years old, 7 years old. I came from California. My mother is from the East Coast. My father is from the West Coast. My father was in the military. My mother and my father were married. They're, divorced now, but, life goes on. But like I said, I would like to see a lot of things happening for Port Jervis, New York. I mean, I heard that we have a water park might be coming in, and like I said, I would hope some businesses would come in. And like I said, with my work and my production of my book, I plan on starting some type of business here in Port Jervis, New York, to mass reproduce my works to be created into many different types of merchandise for sale. So, Mr. Mayor, I would like to look forward to speaking with you after the meeting and see what we can do about this money situation and getting our town back together again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, y'all.
Anyone else? Not hearing from anyone else, I have a motion to go into executive session. So, I have a motion by Mr. Oni, second by, Mr. Walagrowski. Discussion, all in favor? Opposed?